I had another nightmare. It was odd, panicky type nightmare. It started off that I was at some people's house. It's like I knew them, but I didn't know them. And everything was going fine. And I told them, I said I had this little spot on my arm that had been bothering me. And so as the dream progressed, you know, all these women are talking and everything. And I don't know, I started feeling really odd and weird. And the next morning I woke up and I'd had like a leaf was growing out of my arm, out of my right arm to be specific. And as the day progressed, it started to vine like around my arm, and I could see the roots of the plant in my veins as they grew. And at the end of my hand, I had a bunch of little leaves and big leaves coming out of my veins, you know, searching for the sunlight, I guess. And on my elbow of my right arm, there was like it looked like a big pimple. And that lady said, well, come here and let me squeeze it. And when she squeezed it, all these little things started, thousands and thousands of them, started coming out of my skin. And they were everywhere. They looked like little maggots coming out of my elbow. And they were everywhere, and it's like they were seeking humans or something to get into, like a host. And then, of course, the women, they didn't want me around there anymore, so I took off. Well, by this time, this vine thing, or whatever it was all the way up into my shoulder and my back, and I could feel like the roots, again, going in my veins, and the leaves popping up out of my skin. And I was up on a hill and I was looking down, and I could see a mechanic shop, a tire shop, and I could see my dad, who's my father, who's been dead, for probably 12, 15 years now, down there working. And he had seen me, and he waited for me to come down there, and I'm trying to get down there, but this thing, whatever it is growing on me. Whatever it was growing on me. This plant thing, and this vines in my skin and in my veins. And I'm trying to get down there, and by the time I get down there, of course, he's gone. And so I'm struggling now to try and walk, because it's like this thing is like down into my legs, and I could, I could feel it crawling under my skin. And I'm walking down the street trying to get some help, and no one to help me, not even the homeless. And I tried to get this homeless woman to help me, and she started chattering. Well, I get to the hospital finally, and I can hardly speak, because now these tentacles, these things, whatever, these roots in my veins and under my skin have started to enter into my brain, and it's affecting how I speak and how I can stand. I couldn't even stand. I was on my knees, all fours, and I get into the emergency room, and now these things, those little maggots, are falling out of my skin. It's not even having to be a pressure on them or anything. Like, they're just coming out of my skin as this thing grows inside of me and on me and stuff. And I'm trying to tell the nurses what's going on, and they already knew what was going on. They're like, we've got another one. We've got another one. Get her in the surgery right now. And they put on their hazmat suits and all that kind of stuff. And they've picked me up and put me on, you know, the surgical table, and all these little maggot things are coming out of me. And this vine is growing, and the more they cut it, the more it grows. And they go to cut me, and I wake up. I hate nightmares like that.